So what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about a little bit of quilting with IQ Designer, and specifically what's new with the palette 11, because with palette 11, the new Solaris and the Luminaire, the version 3 or the Vision or whatever it's called these days, the newest version or the update to the newest Solaris and Luminaire, what it will do. Because now our choices are virtually limitless as far as the motif designs, the running stitches that we can use in IQ Designer, as well as the background fills. So I think if you started out with, what do I have? Destiny. The Destiny, it came at first with only 9 background fills and 2 or 3 decorative stitches in the IQD. Then if you got the upgrade, you went to like 15. If you had the Solaris one, I think you had 34. Now you've got more than that. And there's even more with palette. It's virtually limitless because it allows you to not only come the 12 or however many that comes in with it, or no, I think it's all the way up to 54. I forgot how many's in the new upgrade. But you've got 54 background fills in palette, and all of those can be used in your machine now. You'll be able to migrate them over with the newest update. And also you can make up your own, 12 at a time. You can put them in there, and same thing with decorative stitches. You can make up your own decorative stitches and put them in there. I know when I first started embroidering, I had a 4x4. Little deco machine, which is a little small one, and I had a commercial sewing machine, and I was doing the latte quilt, and my sewing machine only had like maybe 15 decorative stitches, and none of them were in that quilt. So I ended up having to digitize my decorative stitches. Now you can do it a whole lot easier. So now that's what I did. In fact, I have we had a machine left over at the store that they forgot to pick up. It's a Viking, so I'm going to go through it and see what kind of decorative stitches I can pick off that so, to bring into my system so I can have those available for use. So you can make your number of, and the thing is that the latte quilt was designed using a Bernina machine. I didn't have a Bernina, but I like the decorative stitches. So now I've got an old Bernina catalog, and I'm trying to figure out how to digitize those stitches so I can have more stitches, because like God knows we need more and more and more and more. So I just had to I took a week-long class on the new products, and for our homework we had to do a project on the Solaris, and this was the project for the Solaris. I don't have a Solaris, I have a Destiny, and those decorative stitches right here, that feather, that's in the Solaris. It's not in my machine, but guess what's in palette? So I made it work. Because I had this fill, I had the candle wicking, I had we call it the E-stitch, whatever, applique stitch. I didn't have this one, and I didn't have the that thing. So I did it all in palette, and yes, they know I've done it on a Destiny, but they don't care. And on the back of it, I took some of the border fills from the Solaris, and I digitized it, and I did this on the border, and then this I just did a background fill, and I filled the whole field. So I'll show you how I did that later on, but I just used a hoop, and and really no one's going to know that I didn't do it on the Solaris. And yes, I could probably do it on the old Elegante. It just has to be done as an embroidery file, where with the new machines, they're built in. So it does make things easier. The other thing is the new Solaris and the Luminaire have this huge stitch that's, I don't remember what they call it, but it's very long stitching. Those are really interesting. And they almost look like a spirograph. Like when we were kids, we had the spirograph that you would go around the different circles. It looks just like that. But right now you're only limited to the designs that come with the upgrade or the new machine. Mostly because if you tried to do a long stitch more than a 1/2 inch or even an inch, what happens is that the tension stays the same as the hoop drags it across, and therefore you're never going to get a good stitch. So what the new technology in the newest upgrade is that it does the stitch, the tension releases and it moves, and then the tension goes back on and it does the stitch, and then it releases, where with regular embroidery that tension stays the same always. So that's the big difference, and that's why you can only use their stitches for now. But these engineers are really smart, so they'll figure this out. So hopefully we'll be able to do that more with software. Okay, so let's see, what we want to talk about first is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you in Palette how you can create your own fill, or how you even use the fills. Well, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So let me drop this down so I can see through. Okay, so anyway, this is your palette screen when you come on. So this is just bringing it in. And so what, in order to make a design, well, let me show you what they do first. Okay, let's just say I'm going to take a shape of anything. I don't care what it is. All right. And okay, there's our embroidery, and I want to put a background fill around it. I have a background fill here, and I would, I want is background fill, and there that you come up with this screen, and here you have a choice of doing an echo fill, a stippling fill, a decorative fill, or cross hatching. I'm going to do a decorative fill. And it just gives you that cross hatching. You can't see it just yet. Then when I hit next, then I have a menu as to what fills I can use. Now, these will look familiar. These are in our Destiny. I think some of that one isn't, but I don't remember if it's in the new one or not. I know that's in the new one right here. These aren't in there at all, but so you've got all of this that I know is in the Destiny. The little bricks are, let's see what else is here. Yeah, some of these are all, and some of these are not. But all of these can be used on your Destiny if you on the Solaris. You can take in anything and make this as a background fill directly. Let's just say I pick this one. Okay, it doesn't matter which one. I hit OK, and then OK. And there's the fill I picked. And then I can also change this. I can make them bigger. Let me make it maintain. Bigger or smaller. I'll just make it real big. I can change the direction just like we did. And this is what we have to do in the Destiny. You have to bring up your design, bring in your background fill, and then save that all as one design. Okay, and then let me make the, I can even make this bigger. I can skew it just like we did right here. Okay. And then you would save this as a file and bring it into your Destiny and sew it, or Elegante, or multi-needle machine, or any of the machines. This will work on whatever machine you have. It's going, that'll take a PES file. So that is what the machine does for decorative fills. Like I said, you are now with the palette, you are no longer limited to your decorative fills. You can add more if you have a Destiny. And with the Solaris, I can take this particular fill, if it's not on the machine already, and then save it as a special file. And therefore, then you can just take that and then manipulate it as a background fill as if you would any other one. Okay. All right. So that's how you would do that. Now, to make your own fills, let me go to this is in the way. I'm going to go to my programmable stitch creator so I can make my own programmable stitches. And it looks like this. It's actually, palette is like four different digitizers in one. It's got the layout and editing. It's got design center if you want to like really go annoying with your controlling every little aspect of everything. You've got a font creator, which allows you to map any fonts that you have bought into a keyboard stroke. And Brilliance also does that as well. And then it's got this programmable stitch creator, which allows you to make your own background stitches and your own motif stitches or decorative stitches as well. So this is how you would go. This is sort of looking like it would. So you would, you have a drawing tool. Different than the regular drawing tools like you have in regular layout and editing, because you used to be able to have different tools. You could pick up shapes, you could do all kinds, you could have curved lines and straight lines. In this, you only have straight lines, because when you think of it, the sewing machine does not, even though it looks like a curve, if you looked up close, whenever it does any kind of quilting or decorative stitching or straight stitching, it is only straight. It's just that the points are very close together. So you would take, and then I have my preview window on. So here I have, so I am going to, I sort of want to start and stop wherever. I sort of pick a line, because if I wanted this to be continuous, then I would want it to start and stop in the same plane. So I'm just going to draw any old thing. Okay, I'm going to pretend I'm doing a stipple. And you, if you can't see it, let me know. Yeah, I'm not paying any attention. I don't care how it goes, but I just want to draw something. Notice it doesn't have the nice, pretty drawing tools like you have in, but if you do your points real close together. And what I would recommend, if you want to do some of your, make some of your quilting patterns into some of these, what I would recommend is that you just trace it on a piece of acetate and just overlay it on your screen, or, you know, like a document protector. Let's see, go over here. I'm just doing this real quick. I would, if I were doing it really well, I would like take and go around. Oh, well, I just finished it.
So nothing is changing on the screen that I see.
Thank you. I was just going to say
Okay,
that.
can you see it now? Can you see
No,
this new screen?
It's still the spade with their back, with the original background. I haven't seen you do anything.
Yeah.
Share screen, new share. Let's try that one. How's that?
That's better.
Okay. I forgot they're two different. I thought they would change and it doesn't. It's it's a little different. Okay, so see, I didn't get this right. So I'm going to go here to select. And I want to touch it and select points, because I got to fix these. You know, I've got to come over here. And I'm just going to make it, bring it over here so that it's, oh, right about there. And I'll put some of these. I mean, it's not pretty, you know, but it's okay. And you can add by just simply clicking in between to add a point. And then I can move it and play around.
It looks like constellations.
Yeah, it's garbage, but the preview gives you an idea what it's going to look like. And so now when you get it looking like you like it, you would just simply save as here. And then I'm going to save it as, and I'm going to call this squiggle. GGLE, squiggle. And it saves as a PLF file. Okay, so now I'll hit save. Okay, so now I would close out of this. Okay, so it's saved as Quibble. What you would also do if you have the new Solaris or Luminaire with the new upgrade or the new machine, then what you would do is you would save this BLF file to a USB stick. Okay, you would then take this take the USB stick to the sewing machine, and then I'll show you on IQ Designer where you would put it. But let me show you what it does here first. Let's go to the share and change it back to this one. Okay, so now this one here, I can change this. Is that one? I want to change it to another decorative fill. All right. So now when I change that, there's my browse for the fill. And I want, come here. Stop. we go. And it should be down at the bottom. Oh, here's squiggle. I did it once before. There's the one I just saved. Can you guys see this okay?
Yes.
Yes.
And then, see now there it is. And then here is where I can change the scale. I'll make it real tiny. And you're scalable just in either program, either here or, well, that's good enough. Okay, see there's my background fill. So I would take this over to the machine and let me switch cameras. So let me go stop share. And we will go over to the sewing machine.
Okay.
Okay, now this is the Destiny. I can't take that to the machine. So I would go into my IQ designer, and normally what you do is, let me get a shape. Okay, and I'll make it smaller, size, smaller. Okay, okay. So how I would go on this machine, well, it'd be the same on both machines. Let me, can you hear me okay? Because don't have the mic on. Okay,
Yeah.
so, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so what you would do is you would select a background fill and you would select this, okay? On the Destiny and the Dream and all those, you have these that you select from, right? Now what you have differently is you have all of these, but you have two tabs. You have built-in and another tab up here that would say custom. You would put you would select custom and put your USB stick, and you would draw that design off of the USB stick, and then it would put in another set. You'd have two sets. You'd have this one is the built-in, and then you'd have another one that would say custom, and then you could load up to 12 designs at a time in there. So it would say custom. You would tell it to go to the USB stick. You pick the BLF file that you want. You draw it in, and then you hit save, and now it saves into the memory of the machine. So that's how you would save it into your machine. And it actually works pretty well. At least theirs did. I saw it on how they did it. And so now you would have two different tabs. Before you only had the one tab. Now you've got two.
Okay.
And that's where, with the Destiny, we really can't do that. So that's okay. So fine, we can't do that. I can live with that. So now the same thing would go with your decorative fills. And the decorative fills, again, let me go back to that camera. Decorative fills would instead be, okay, would be your line properties. So here's the line properties. In the Destiny, in the Dream, we have a choice of a triple stitch, a candle wick, or a chain stitch. And that's all we've got to pick from. In the Solaris and the Luminaire, you have about 3 more, and one of them is custom. It would have like little star flowers here. Again, you would pick, and you get the same thing. You get a whole listing of designs that would be triple rows, and then you'd have another tab that say custom, and that's where you would pick up those line characteristics. So like say here, okay, and then I'd flood, and now that becomes a candle wicking. See, I only have candle wicking to pick from. That's it. You know, candle wicking and a chain stitch. Solaris, you've got about maybe what 9 or 10 different ones to include the candle wicking, the E-stitch, the elongated candle wicking. You've got the feathers, and now you can add your own. It's got a whole bunch. Now you can add unlimited numbers of those too. Now to create a decorative stitch, again, you would go into, let me go back here to, you'd go again into that programmable stitch creator. Let's see, into share screen. this one, Programmable Stitch Creator. And let me go to new. This time, instead of picking a decorative stitch fill, I would select a new motif pattern, okay? And now you've got drawing as well. Looks the same, you're drawing, you can only do a line, nothing special. Want to draw, and you have to just start. It has to start and stop in the same place, so I just add a bunch of stitches. And it's got, you guys can see this now?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to start plotting where my decorative stitches go. And I'll just add some more. Just add a bunch. I'm gonna make just a declining zigzag, but you can, this is where you would go to that other machine and plot out on a piece of graph paper how it's stitched out. And I okay, and then which others do something wonky. I'm not used to this computer yet. We'll just pretend that I can draw because I can't. It's terrible.
What is that box over to the right-hand side as I'm looking at the
This one right
screen?
here, it's the preview. It's show as I'm making different stitches, different lines, it's showing me what it's gonna look like as a decorative stitch.
Okay,
See, like I'm make this a little rounder. That's good enough. Okay, so that's the new decorative stitch that I came up with. It isn't that pretty. No. Okay. And then again, I would save as, and this time it's going to save it as a PMF file. And I will call this one, I don't know, what do we call this one? ZZ Blob. Okay, that's the name of that one. ZZ Blob, and I'm saving that one. Again, I would save that again to a USB stick to take it over to the machine and have it as a line property. Okay, but in the meantime, I'm going to go back to editing. I'm going to go to, okay, now you can see I'm going to go to a new design. No, I don't want to save those changes. And I'm just going to do a shape. Just to have something with a line. And this, I don't want it. I don't want a stitch. Forgot how you take it out. There we go. No stitch. I don't want the inside. And this one, I'm going to make this now a decorative fill. And decorative motif stitch, which is the same thing as, and it shows here, that's the default one. But now when I go in here to pick, I will find, and like I said, you've got all of these stitches you can now turn into stitches that will work on the Solaris or the new Luminaire. In fact, I saw on here, where was it? Yeah, see, here's that stitch that I used to make the, what do you call that thing, the feathers. Okay, now I can't find the one I made. There it is. There's the blob. Okay. And then okay. And now changes it to that blob. I want to make it bigger. So let's make this a bigger stitch. So we can see it. 1/2 inch stitch. Okay. And then change the color. You can see that. Here's the color. But if you can see it, there's the new decorative stitch. And again, but it makes it really easy to do that, you know, to change it on your palette, so you have unlimited amount of decorative stitches in your embroidery, as well as putting it into the, if you have the Solaris and the Luminaire, then you can put these stitches into your machine under the custom fills or custom motif stitches.
Does palette 11 come with some bit of tutorial somehow, online tutorial at all?
There's the instruction book is built into it, and there are lots and lots and lots of this, there's free webinars from Baby Lock. You can also look at any of the things for My Design Center or My Design. What is it? No, what's it called?
Ours is
My Design, PE Design. PE Design is the same thing. Any of those, and plus we have we do have classes too. But there's lots of free ones how to do things, and I know Baby Lock's always having free seminars on how to use the palette 11. I just haven't been practicing with it. Can you do the same things with Embroidery? Sure, you can do the same things, just to go about a different way. All software is pretty much the same. There's just different syntax with it. Just Baby Lock and the Brothers software will direct connect. It's got the wireless to the machines, and adds that Solaris a little more to almost unlimited number of background fills and decorative stitches that you can have in embroidery. Now the Brother, the Luminaire has where you can design your own decorative stitches right in the sewing machine in sewing mode. Baby Lock doesn't have that. But the process of doing a decorative fill is the same for both. You still have to plot out the stitch, and usually it helps to sit and watch it and just do it with a piece of graph paper, because you have to know 1 forward, 2 back, whatever, because that if you look and see how they're actually done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
some
that's
like 2 steps forward, 3 back, and that kind of thing. So anyway, that being said, anyone have any more questions? And if not, I will let you guys go forth and have fun.
All right.
Okay, well, until then, I will see you guys on Saturday. Okay,
Okay.
we'll see you.
Thanks, Jerry.
Bye-bye.